The Fantastic Four First Steps official teaser trailer. So they restarting the origin story again. Yeah. Well, they got to because the mother
Welcome
was
to the
trash.
Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Huh. Why I feel retro?
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
I feel futuristic.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Retro.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah.
Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi!
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Where is this? Where is this?
I was about to ask you some questions.
This isn't current continuity. This isn't current continuity. This is not current continuity.
Takes place in the 60s.
Impossible.
What, a robot?
This can't be current continuity.
In the 60s?
Another universe. Okay, I knew I wasn't tripping. Because there's no way this is current continuity. No way.
Whatever life throws at us.
It said Marvel Studios, but it's not the same.
Who the f is he
I
supposed
was
to be?
about to say, who the hell is that? Damn, Aaron lost? Aaron lost it. God damn it. What is going on, chat? Help.
I
Help.
saw Galactus. Who the f is this? That's Doom? No.
Nigga saying Gandalf. What the f?
Galactus.
Galactus right there, okay.
As a family.
Did we see one stretching limb? I think they stretched out one time in the teaser. July 25th. Damn. Hold up.
Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers
No,
Show.
we need this. We need this.
We need this
We're putting
breakdown.
this all in one.
Yeah, we need this breakdown. Hold up.
I'm your host, Paul, and this
Wait, hold on. Like the other guy. We'll try this one. We'll try him out.
Let's try him out. What up, Heavy Spoilers? How you doing?
video, we're breaking down the trailer for Fantastic Four.
Let's do it.
I like the costumes. They feel like OG.
Packed with Easter eggs, new characters, and our first look at the first family.
Galactus' first film is insane, by the way.
That
Like,
he will be this in this.
Galactus' first film, nutty. I think we all can agree. Galactus' first film, kind of nutty.
Depends on what they do with it.
Cause like Galactus is big bad, bro. Galactus is big bad. That's Thanos. That's Thanos to the Avengers. That's Apocalypse to the X-Men. We throwing out one of our biggest big bad
In the first.
in the first movie.
Yeah.
So let's you know.
There's a lot to talk about in the video. Throughout this, we'll be talking about the main comics that inspired it, along with what stories we've heard they're adapting. It's February 4th, which is an F and a 4, and I know there's been trailers shown privately at events.
They dropped it on the 4th.
Fantastic Four. I like that.
That's nice.
Those previous ones were actually put together really quickly, and they were mainly made up of costume tests, special effects reels, and what they'd managed to film so far. Though this teaser's very short and sweet, we'll also be going over what happened in those ones, so if you haven't seen them,
You know what this feels like? It feels like TVA. You know how like the TVA feels like in the future as well as the past?
That's what's throwing me off.
That's what this feels
Future-
like.
yeah,
It feels like the
future
TVA.
this is kind of our mega breakdown about everything you need to know. So come with us as we explain
And what we could be seeing right there, that could be the crumbling of the universe, or the multiverse before it became one big continuity.
first steps, first look, and let's get into the trailer.
We're all here.
Now we begin with an hour-long countdown, which I rushed home for, and the wife wasn't happy, but after that, we get into the trailer. And by that, I mean another live event. But after that, we get into the trailer. Beginning with a tour of the Baxter Building, we watch Reed and Sue guarding some that, we get into the trailer, beginning with a tour.
Yeah, bro, we started an impromptu subathon, twin. 21 hours in.
I feel like these buildings are important. That one in the distance. I feel like these buildings are important.
Of the Baxter building, we watch Reed and Sue guiding someone about the house. It's very akin to Hickman's Run.
Oh, that looks like the Daily Bugle. The one further off in the distance looks like the Daily
Bugle. They'd
Bugle.
often give tours. This too featured in Civil War, and it's pretty much just the family showing the world who they are. They're pretty much celebrities of the time, so it's kind of like a 1960s reality TV thing. Shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, it also feels like a classic.
Yeah, that building right there. This one looks like the Daily Bugle.
A classic TV show. Now, the film's obviously going to have a very heavy 60s retro futuristic aesthetic. Bit of a mouthful there. But the movie is going to be set in 1963. However, I feel like they'll be pulled into the modern day or maybe across the multiverse. Either way, though, this has definitely got that 60s feel. And if you've read the original run of the comics, it all feels really in line with that. It's kind of like a Jetsons thing where they have really high-tech stuff, but also a 60s style to it, which is a really cool and stylistic way to tell the story. Now, this is because this Fantastic Four are from another Earth, which explains why they haven't appeared in the 616. However, it's possible that a version of them exists on the main timeline due to Doctor Strange asking if the Fantastic Four charted in the 60s.
Hello, Stephen. Fantastic Four. Didn't you guys chart in the 60s?
That was, of course, a different version of Reed, and Chris Evans as Johnny Storm mentioned another one in Deadpool and Wolverine. Later on, I'll go a bit more in depth on what this could all be setting up, and it's likely that it's going to be the Council of Reeds. Dun dun dun! Now, there's definitely a feeling of optimism. That was...
Oh, they're trying to set up something big.
If they set up Council of Reeds, they can also set up Illuminati. Oh, and if they set up Illuminati, we could get a World War Hulk. Oh my God, that would be lovely.
Very, very apparent in that Comic-Con first look. The 60s was the time of the space race, which this movie is clearly playing off. It felt like a time of optimism and a giant leap for humanity where we will live.
No, I'm talking Illuminati 616. Like, not that bullshit that Scarlet Witch. I mean, like a 616 Illuminati.
Really taking our first steps into uncharted territory. That's what's going on here with the rocket ship, but I feel like it will also be the first steps into this Earth going into the multiverse. Either way though, I love the look of the trailer with it clearly being inspired by Sid Mead. Mead's work was fantastic, and he envisioned a future full of curves, metallic metropolises.
They be having deep cuts for inspiration, bro. That's what I'm trying to
appear in the film as well, with this being
a
curved skyscraper that feels like it's ripped right out of Mead's work. He also designed several cars that clearly inspired the Lotus Esprit and also the DeLorean. Now, speaking of cars, the family will also have a flying one that was built practically. Showcased first at Comic-Con, this fantastic car is probably the sleekest version of the ride that we've ever seen. I'm guessing they're going to have to change it due to Ben not fitting in it, and we'll possibly get one more in line with the comics. It might not even be the fantastic car, and it might just be Reed, Sue, Ben, or Johnny's ride.
How do we feel about Mr. Fantastic?
casting.
Yeah.
Visually, I'm not seeing it yet.
He's a great actor.
He's a great actor. Yeah,
he's a great actor.
Visually, I'm not seeing it yet. I gotta see more.
He's a great. What is it? Pasquale? How do you pronounce his name?
I don't know.
He's a great actor.
Sue, I see it.
I can see Sue. I can see
Johnny Storm, I see it immediately.
Pascal, yeah. Like, I feel like the dude from The Office definitely had a Reed Richards look. Like, I like him as an actor. I just wanted to see how people were feeling, because like Pascal, he's like really blown recently, and I just want to make sure this isn't another incident where, just like with
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Like,
just because he hot.
Yeah. Like, with Michael B. Jordan, he was hot, and they were like, oh yeah, you're going to be Johnny Storm for whatever reason.
Him as Johnny Storm is insane.
And they were
like, that don't even.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but it was because at the time, Michael B. was the star. That's why, like, when they even pulled him into Black Panther, it was because of that star power.
Yeah.
And so
but he fit there.
He fit there. So it's like, I'm really worried about it, because the thing with Fantastic Four, the first few movies were okay, right? The original first two, I think it was two. They were okay. They weren't, but like they fit the time around X-Men and all that. Like they fit that time, right? I'm worried that we can't have a good Fantastic Four, because like just like with X-Men, I don't think we'll have a good X-Men. I can't see them making a good X-Men just because of like team dynamics. But like, I'm very hopeful. But just, and hear me out before you start, typing your negativity. We gotta be real. Marvel past few years has been shit.
Oh yeah,
it's been terrible.
You can just by the lack of faith there was with this.
Yeah, like
this
trailer.
it's like, oh, there's a trailer. Oh, there's a trailer.
Yeah, and it's like even like with Moon Knight. Like I like Moon Knight, right? I can't tell you shit that happened in Moon Knight. I've watched Moon Knight 3 times. I can't tell you shit that happened.
I couldn't even finish it. I ain't gonna lie.
I loved Loki.
Horrible.
I loved Loki. I genuinely loved Loki. Loki was great. I feel like if they would have pushed for Loki to be like a theatrical release, they would have fucking ruined. And so it leaves me in this even with like Deadpool Wolverine. I love Deadpool Wolverine. Deadpool Wolverine was fucking phenomenal. But even retrospectively, looking back at Deadpool Wolverine, it feels like that nigga did feel like Marvel Jesus. Like, hey, we need you to save this franchise.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and that's what it feels like.
It felt like the only bit of magic in the franchise.
Yeah, and so it's like
for the time period.
Yeah, and so like I'm very worried going into this because I'm very excited, but I'm worried, especially with RDJ coming back. I just want to see how this goes, and so I just wanted to gauge y'all opinion on it, just because like Fantastic Four can be really good or it can be dog shit.
Yeah, they have showed it off a lot, so I think it'll probably feature in the movie a lot. Anyway, they talk about a family dinner that they have every single week, and we see that being prepared by The Thing. He's helping Herbie cook. It's a reference to the bear. Now, we also have Herbie the robot. First shown in the concept art for the film, the character was actually first introduced in the 1970 robot. First shown in the
Okay. No, I'm just giving them a look over.
Film, the character was actually first introduced in the 1978 cartoon.
Yeah.
The machine was actually made by the Xandarians to help search for Galactus. So I kind of think that's how they're going to go with it being used to find the Devourer of Worlds. Now what this trailer does well is showcase the power set the group have. The first teaser they released didn't really highlight it, and this was due to the VFX not being done. However, they've had the time now. Reed can stretch any part of his body, which Sue loves, and she can turn invisible and make force fields. Johnny Storm can also set his body alight.
I didn't see him stretching.
Ben is like a big rock dude. Each one of them is an iconic hero though, and I can't wait to see what they do. They've also got really interesting personal lives as well. They're clearly playing up Storm being a bachelor, which is a big part of the comics. Grimm's dealing with his grim-looking face, and Sue and Reed might also have another announcement. When you hear the term...
Oh my fucking god. Oh my... If they... Nigga. Nathaniel? Nathaniel?
What are we referring to here?
Dude, you thinking marriage or Nathaniel? What you thinking, dude? Because if it's that dog... Look! Reed Richards and Susan Storm, they have a son. Top 3 strongest mutants. His name's Nathan Richard, but I call him Nathaniel. Right. That nigga, he top 3. He really depended on that nigga, bro. The nigga's so strong, he literally stops himself from using. He can only use his power for one time a year.
A year.
Because he doesn't want to become powerful. Anything. The nigga made a pocket dimension, a pocket universe in his hand. He made a pocket universe in his fucking hand. He can do anything. The nigga is the strongest mutant. Like, it's argued that Phoenix Force, Jean Grey, like, let's be real. But like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. So like, do y'all think it's the son? Franklin? I thought it was Nathaniel. Or Nathan. I thought it was Nathan. Is Franklin Richards? I thought it was Nathan. It's Franklin? It's Franklin? Okay, well, Franklin. But here's my question. Nigga, Galactus not even in the fight. Let's be real. But my question is are we, like, because let's be real, Franklin himself could fuck around and send them in the multiverse. Like, let's be real. Him himself could be like, oh, because he can't control. Bro, nah, this might be, yeah. Reed Richards is Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. Because if they're alluding to him being, like, about to be born, we got some shit.
Well, if he's trying to take out Franklin before he's born, could be a thing.
Guess we back again with Gamer Subs. What's up, Chad? You might be asking how did Conor McGregor get here? You're asking too many questions. The boys over at InternetCity have teamed up with Gamer Subs. If you go to gamersubs.gg/InternetCity right now, you can get 10% off. I'm talking flavors like raw meat, Guacamole Gamer Ford! And these two right here, we got the nuclear station and chug juice. You either go, or I'm gonna go with you. Guess who's back again!
So apply to their space travel. However, it could also mean a baby's first steps. I do think that, at the very least, one of the pair's children will be set up in the movie. Franklin and Valeria are actually crucial parts of Secret Wars, so I think they probably need to get things in place if they're taking it that way. Kids are obviously really important, and you might be able to hear mine screaming in the background, "Be quiet, we're doing important work here, be quiet! I'm talking about how important kids are, and you're ruining it, you ruin everything!" Now, one thing I love in the trailer is that feeling of vulnerability. You have Johnny Storm floating in space without his powers, and also Sue glitching in and out. On top of that, you also have the Thing's entire life being ruined, and yeah, I love the sort of danger that comes from these moments. As much as people hate Fan 4 Stick, it did a really good job of showcasing how much of a curse these powers could be. Though I don't think they'll go down that route specifically, these are all pretty harrowing things for someone to be granted with. If they're unable to control them, they could really mess up their lives. Johnny would be constantly on fire, and Sue wouldn't be able to stabilize whether she's visible. So it's a nice touch, and though it isn't a massive thing in the teaser, it's still important to note. Now, the Thing design looks great, and they clearly wanted to make it look as comic accurate as possible. When looking at the effects team, I saw they even took a trip to the desert to study specific rocks for his texture. They're really putting effort in, and I think the movie's also definitely going to have an aspect where Ben struggles with his new look. In the Comic-Con teaser, they had moments where they talked about how he was the best-looking astronaut, and he clearly prides himself on his appearance. However, we did get the bit after he got his powers where he went on a blind date show. I'd love to see the door slide back and her just start screaming, and yeah, I think that could be a really funny scene. However, it could also be teasing the woman Ben ends up with. Eventually, he starts dating blind artist Alicia Masters. So having a blind date show, you know, it might lead into that, but obviously let me know your thoughts below. Now, they also said they looked at animals in order to design someone else's powers. I think that probably gives us one of two options. It's possible that they might have looked at octopi for Reed's stretching and elasticity. However,
or they could have looked at an eel for Dr. Doom, electricity real.
They might have also looked at the chameleon's camouflage, as Sue can of course turn invisible. Now, beyond this, there's also rumors that Mole Man will feature in the movie too.
Why?
An expansive underground set was leaked, and it's said to belong to the villain. Mole Man was a big part of their first issue, and thus it just makes sense to include him, especially if you're studying animals. Like, get some moles on board. I'm not sure how much he'll be involved though, and I feel like that they'll probably just feature him in a montage. I expect they'll show the exploits of the group and some of the foes that they've faced in the past. So I can see Mole Man featuring in the film in that sort of way, but yeah, let me know if you...
Did they never show a fifth member of that space team?
In the trailer?
Yeah. Or was it only the four of them? Oh, so Doom is different completely.
Oh, because he's an original person on the thing. Ah.
Oh.
Maybe just not in the trailer. It could be there in the movie. Who knows?
If you've heard anything different, as I'd of course love to see him making his way to the big screen, the big Mole Man with a big green thing coming out.
Yeah, not every
classic. Yeah, just makes sense to kind of recreate that cover at some point in the film. It'll look good though, I suspect. You bloody shill. Now, they also mentioned the Future Foundation as well. First introduced in Fantastic Four. Now, they also mentioned the Future Foundation as well. First introduced in Fantastic Four 579, this was a super school that focused on science. Disillusioned with how scientists have used and applied science, Reed set up his own independent organization dedicated to the future. This included some of the brightest minds at the time, including Reed's children, Franklin and Valeria. There were some other smart kids as well, but I don't think they'll follow the full basis of the original run. Now, that actually happened after the death of Johnny Storm, and it was present in Jonathan Hickman's work. The foundation was set up during a time of grieving, and basically made in a way to turn something bad into something positive. Here it just seems like that's what Reed's organization runs as, and what he operates under. Now, though that's different, I actually think they'll be taking a big part of Hickman's run for the multiverse stuff. In it, Reed built a device known as the Bridge, which could look across the multiverse. Reed figured that though he couldn't solve all the problems on his Earth, there would be others that had. So he looked across the multiverse and honed in on specific Earths to figure out how he could have avoided civil war, beat Galactus, got people to hit the thumbs up, and so on and so forth. I think they'll do that in the film, and then it'll open up new possibilities. That's because when he did this, he came across the Council of Reeds. Turns out, right, that a large portion of Reeds built a bridge on their respective Earths, and thus all made the same leaps. After meeting each other, they decided to form a group that would then try and fix the multiverse. They created entire planets that were just focused on growing crops to feed starving planets and so on and so forth. However, there was a darker side to them. I'm not going to get too in-depth on that in case I do it because it might spoil things, but they also required a Reed to completely step away from his family to join them. So it was a big sacrifice. The Reed we followed, his father had abandoned him.
It could do it. Either way, I'm liking what I hear about the possible story.
Find out in July.
Yeah,
it ain't far away at all.
A fact.
To get the Captain America. Oh, and look, actually,
that's in a few weeks, huh?
Yeah, that's like next week or something. I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah.
He was younger to go time traveling, so it was a big ask. Now, I think they could definitely do something like this, and even feature the Reeds we've met in other films. So far, we've had 3 on screen, and 4 if you count the unreleased one from the 90s that they made just to keep the rights, but I think that would be a really great way to play it down the line, and though it might not be in this movie, it could be something they tease. However, I think the Future Foundation will feature quite a lot.
Dark Tiger, appreciate
the possibility that this entire movie might be pulled from their archives. I feel like the reason they'll have to leave this Earth is because Galactus destroys it. I feel like Franklin may have even logged it in the future and be looking back at what happened. The movie does have an almost, I don't know, like, the look like it's part of an old documentary, which I think might...
Yeah, okay, I do like that. That would be cool. That would be cool. Right, bro, okay.
I think it's so strong, he looking back at the front.
Might have been
that's what happened, huh?
This would give the idea that someone's looking back at it, and it is in fact a documentary that's sort of played out like a movie. That's just a theory time, though. Theory time. The theory time might not happen. It's probably wrong. I'm just saying it's theory because it's definitely wrong. Don't believe what I'm saying, please. Now, if you want to support the channel and get some cool merch out of it, then definitely check out our store below the video. We've got our Alien Chestburster shirt there. It's the Red Ghost, which I actually got told a while back. Along with this, I heard they were primarily adapting Fantastic Four 13. That was published during 1963, which is of course when the movie's set. Along with this though, we also have the space travel aspects. In the source material, Reed ends up getting a strange media fragment that comes from the blue area of the moon. This is an area in the comics that's basically an oxygen-rich part of the moon that housed a civilization. It's also where the Watcher Uatu lives, who we'll talk more about in a bit. Anyway, Reed wants to take a rocket there, and while this is going on, Ivan Kragoff does as well. He's wanting to journey up there with 3 apes in an attempt to duplicate the accident that gave the 4 their powers. It actually pays off as well, and Kragoff's able to turn invisible, while the apes get shapeshifting, enhanced strength, and also the power to control magnets. Now the Fantastic Four spot this, and it leads to a fight which is actually stopped by the Watcher. Not really just watching then, are you, mate? Now we've of course also met Uatu in the series What If, where he also ended up interfering. Red Ghost is a pretty niche villain though, and obviously I think they'll be focusing on Galactus as the big bad, which takes us to our next point. Now I think how this will play into the arrival of Galactus comes with a second comic I heard they're adapting. That is Fantastic Four 48. Featuring the Watcher once more, it has him warning of the coming of Galactus. We learn that the Watcher actually attempted to hide Earth from his herald, which is none other than the Silver Surfer. We know that the Surfer is gonna feature in the film, however, this won't be Norrin Rad. Instead, we'll have Shala Bal, who'll be played by Julia Garner. In the comic, she was the lover of Rad.
Wait, so she's, wasn't that... Wait.
We're getting the Silver Surfer in here, too.
Wait.
We know that the Surfer is gonna feature in the film, however, this won't be Norrin Rad. Instead, we'll have Shala Bal, who'll be played by Julia Garner. In the comic, she was the lover of Rad, and she ruled as an immortal empress on Zenlar. Rad became the herald to spare the planet, but it looks like they're taking things from the Earth X reality. There, Shala Bal got the powers, which was bestowed by Frank. Look, it's a big long-winded thing, but basically, she's going to be the herald here. Phew. Anyway, as for Galactus, I'm sure you guys all know him by now. He's a big celestial that travels the universe, treating it like an all-you-can-eat. The Devourer of Worlds will be voiced by Ralph Ineson, and bloody good rep that Galactus. Although Galactus is often portrayed as a villain, that's because we often see things through the eyes of his prey. However, he's more like a natural force of the universe, and after the heat death when it's reborn, he's normally the first, or one of the first things to come into existence. You see, kids, the universe just moves in cycles of life and death, and then eventual rebirth, which he's all a part of. However, I do think he'll destroy this world, and thus the 4 will flee to another. When he was being created by Jack Kirby, he
Jamie Pyre, appreciate the sub.
Said he drew from the Bible. The Surfer's like a fallen angel, and both are clearly based on that kind of imagery. His birth was even witnessed by the Watchers, and I think they could do a really cool origin story told by Uatu. Beyond that though, a detail I love about him is that he's actually so vast and cosmic that humans can't perceive him how he is. Most races can't, in fact. So, though he appears human, it's only because we can't comprehend him, and that's the shape we give to him. So, for example, Skrulls see him as a Skrull head, and Ryan Airy sees him as a 40-year-old virgin with absolutely no mates.
Shut the f*** up, Ryan Airy.
A huge shout out to our partners at Arrow Video, who sell a ton of 4K Blu-rays on some really classic titles. They've got movies like The Great Escape, the description with actually the thing full of useless information a lot of the time, but he pointed out that the mask the kids wear is actually the thing Ben Cooper Halloween costume that you can buy online. So shout out to Matt. It's a kid's costume. He's nailed it. He's worth his weight in gold, that lad. Now going forward, I feel like this movie is going to be one of the key pieces setting up Doomsday. I actually think at some point it'll be revealed that this universe's Doctor Doom is Robert Downey Jr. Though Latveria has been...
Oh my god. Oh, that would be fire. But I like it. I just don't like Victor Doom. Like, I'd rather it be somebody else who's Victor Doom
than Robert Downey.
Yeah, because I want it to be a Stark variant. Victor Doom is not a Stark variant. It's cool, but it's like, doesn't make sense that they look exactly.
Be mentioned in the MCU, we've never heard about Victor Von Doom. However, there was a leak around the time of Black Panther 2 that had the concept art of someone meeting him. The original plot leak was about 90% right, and it said that Lake Bell's character was actually working for him. This would then apparently be revealed in the post-credit scene, but yeah, obviously that never came to be. However, the person meeting Doom looked a bit like Gravik in the art, so it has been thought this would then tie in a secret invasion. That came from a time where, you know, Marvel movies actually used to set up the next movie instead of doing like, we'll set up a movie that'll not release for another 6 years and you'll have to wait until 2032 to see the end of this one or whatever. My math there is terrible, but the reason I'm telling you all that is because Doom clearly isn't in the 616. He's of course played by Robert Downey Jr. and thus he has to come from another universe. Because everyone would be like, oh, is that Iron Man or Doctor Doom? You know what I'm saying? So he can't come from that main universe. So what I think is going to happen is that this movie will reveal that Doom comes from this universe. I feel like he'll be set up at the end and we'll have a big post-credit scene teasing the character. Just in the same way they revealed Thanos, I think they could do something with Robert Downey Jr. where they just set him up as the big bad. If this world is destroyed, it also makes sense that he'd do what he does down the line. During the build-up to Secret Wars, the multiverse was destroyed and then Doom brought it back together. Stealing the power of the Beyonders, he then built Battleworld, which was made up...
That nigga look hard. I can't even lie to you. That nigga hard.
Okay, so I think they're doing Battleworld.
What he could salvage. If Doom had his own world destroyed, it makes sense he'd try and...
horror-forming!
I think they're going to paint him out as a very complicated anti-hero, and it just makes sense to set that up here. Obviously, though, let me know your thoughts, and that wraps up the trailer. I think the movie's going to be one of the best...
We're not going to talk about the old ass nigga?
He did.
Which part?
He talked about it earlier. He said he's one of the original villains, the Red Ghost.
Oh, that's the part we kind of skipped in, when we skipped the merch part.
Marvel over the last couple of years, and I'm very excited to see it. I don't think the Fantastic Four have ever really got proper representation on screen. However, this looks like they've really captured the feel of those original comics. The director Matt Shakman was also behind WandaVision along with Jack Schaefer. Obviously, they nailed the tone of the shows they were mimicking, and it feels like he's done it again. The era, tone, set design, it's all spot on, and the movie looks great. I just hope they can deliver story-wise, but I definitely think they have the potential. I'm guessing Feige and the gang have had an idea of how they'll handle the Four for a while now, and I'm really hoping they knock it out of the park, because I'm a shill. But obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, and let me know below. Please drop a like on the video.
Video, man.